Welcome to this Prentice-Hall video on service operations management. A traditional topic in operations management is inventory management. In most manufacturing operations, inventory can represent a significant cost, which can make or break the profitability of the firm. Inventory represents idle production, either waiting to be processed or waiting to be sold. One service where we find a lot of inventory waiting to be sold is retail. Retail operations managers need to be careful in managing their inventory to have enough goods to meet customer needs, but not so much that the goods sit idle for a long time. In other types of services, inventory is quite a different issue. For example, what types of inventories are here at a fitness center? They may keep an inventory of towels, which is important. However, it's unlikely that the towel inventory decision consumes a lot of management attention. The fact is, there are significant idle production concerns in most service businesses. These inventory decisions have been cited as perhaps the #1 cause of customer complaints with many services. In this segment, we'll discover the key inventory of service businesses.
You done yet?
Sorry.
What is inventory? Inventory is stored production. It can be items waiting to be processed or items waiting to be sold. For example, a powerboat manufacturer may have inventories of raw materials such as fiberglass used for constructing boats, work in process such as partially assembled boats, and finished goods waiting to be delivered. In manufacturing settings, inventory often is a significant managerial concern. This is because inventory often represents a major avoidable cost. Manufacturers employ various inventory management techniques to control inventories. For example, just-in-time inventory systems attempt to schedule production and delivery of goods so that materials and parts arrive where they are needed just before they are needed. In this way, inventory can be kept to a minimum. In fact, in all cases, inventory occurs because of a mismatch between demand requirements and production. For example, when items are produced well before they are demanded, those items sit in inventory. Inventory also exists in service operations. For example, restaurants keep inventories of food items. Law firms keep inventories of paper and other office supplies. These inventories are essential, but represent a relatively small portion of the cost of production. A service example where inventory represents a large portion of production cost is retail. With retail, planning and selling inventory is a key operating objective. There is one type of inventory that should be a major concern of all service businesses, including the fitness center at Miami University of Ohio. What do you suppose that most significant inventory would be? A fitness center would typically keep an inventory of towels. However, the cost of towels is quite minor when compared with, say, labor or facility costs. So is the cost of shower soap or vending machine items. Recall that inventory is stored production, or production which is mismatched with demand. What happens when demand precedes production by a significant amount of time? Is there stored demand? Yes, the customer or their inputs are stored. When a customer demands the service and there is not sufficient production capacity, the customer must wait. People usually don't refer to customers waiting for the service as inventory, but it's the same concept. If a supplier delivers material to a manufacturer before it can be processed, the goods are stored as inventory. When customers deliver themselves to a service facility before they can be processed, that storage is called a waiting line or queue. At a fitness center, the customer's waiting in line represents an inventory. One difference between manufacturing inventories and customer-provided service inventories is the cost of keeping the items or customers in inventory. If a shirt is kept in inventory for a few weeks waiting to be sold, it does not mind, and the company simply incurs a holding cost. If a customer is kept in inventory, the waiting line, for a few weeks or even a few hours, the cost to the customer may be very high. Customers who are dissatisfied with having to wait will cost the company in terms of lost goodwill and decreased likelihood of repeat business. Think about the last time you had to wait a long time at a bank, restaurant, or doctor's office. How did it affect your view of the service provider? A fitness center certainly needs to consider the impact of waiting on customers. If capacity is insufficient, customers may be frustrated or just not served. However, idle capacity is not good either, meaning that costs of waiting and costs of capacity need to be appropriately balanced. Another service design issue is planning for inevitable inventories of customers. Just as space needs to be planned for keeping inventories of goods, space needs to be planned for queues of customers, so that the waiting is sufficiently comfortable and the queues don't impede pathways through the facility. Careful management of inventories and customer queues can do much to help service organizations have effective operations.